Welcome back to today's new foundation review. It has been some time since I've reviewed a foundation, and you guys know I love drugstore foundations. This one is what we call a CC cream, and by the thumbnail you guys know I am talking about the e.l.f. This is the e.l.f. Camo CC cream. This one has, in my opinion, a lot of the same similarities as the other one by a more prestige brand, which I also did have for a while in my collection, although I did declutter it a while ago, but for years I had used that CC cream. If you have any sort of issues like I do on my skin, then BB creams just do not cut it. I've always preferred a CC cream because it still gives me a little bit more of that natural fresh face look, but still covers everything up. We're gonna go ahead and get into the application and do a full days of wear test. So if you guys want to see how it works on my skin, then let's keep going. But really quickly, I'm gonna go into priming my skin using the e.l.f. This is their Universal Putty Primer, the poreless one. When I was at Target, I actually happened to see they had like the smaller ones, and I thought they came out with that during Christmas, but I thought it was a good deal. It was like $10 and you got 3 of the putty primers, like in a smaller, like, you know, the size of like those NARS concealer pots, in that size of the 3 different putty primers. And I was like, wow, that is a really good deal because it has taken me forever to get through this primer. I've got this like tube packaging. It does have a pump. It's got a, you know, plastic cap to it. It feels nice. I mean, it was, I want to say this product was $10. For shade choices, I did end up going in with the light 210N, which is neutral. Normally, I would go in with a tan, but the tan just seemed too dark when I was in store, and the 2 shade choices I had to choose from, especially when it comes to e.l.f., I like to kind of stay more on their neutral side. So I decided to go light because light I can work with. Dark, once it's dark, I can't work with it. It's a little bit too difficult to work with. So that's what I'm going to use today to apply it. So this is the one that we're really trying to cover. I don't know that we'll be able to without concealer, but we're going to give it a shot. Oh, this might be a good match. So there you have it, 2 pumps. So here you have it. I'm just going to start buffing it. Wow. It doesn't have that SPF smell, which is really nice. That immediately covered it. It's beautiful. Oh, my baby hairs. Do you guys have that issue where your baby hairs just get everywhere all the time? The nice thing about this foundation is as I apply it, it feels super hydrating, and I do have some dry patches along my chin area from my mask and right here on the bridge of my nose from my mask, and I don't see it clinging at all. And I can definitely say this part, I didn't have as many issues, so I feel like it covered it. Like 1 layer would be perfect. But this side you could see that that really dark, heavy spot definitely needs a little bit more coverage, which again, is very understandable considering how dark that pimple is. I'm gonna give this a little bit of time to kind of set into the skin, about 15-20 seconds, and then we'll move into the second layer. All right, so it's been a few seconds. Let's go ahead. I'm going to take whatever's left over and I'm going to apply. I really don't feel like I need any right here. Then whatever's left over, I'll apply here on my chin because I do have some pimples there, and then right here in the center. So I'm going to lightly just tap over this. That's a little bit better. There we go. That is as good as it's going to get, and truly I think even if I had concealer, it wasn't going to get any better because it is just so dark and prominent. It is what it is. Now, I could have definitely gone in with a little bit of color correcting to kind of, you know, color correct the redness, but I really wanted to see how well the foundation does on its own. The second layer really makes it feel dewy and luminous, which I can feel right now. My skin feels very, very sticky, is how I'd explain it. So that scares me a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and apply a little bit of concealer, and then we'll set everything together. So there is everything set. It does still look a little funny because my under eye area is so bright and everything's just so flat. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up the rest of my complexion. I'll come back and I'll show you guys what the final outcome looks like, and then we'll go ahead and start our wear test. So we are ready to start our day. I will be posting a Instagram video of this makeup look, so if you guys are wanting to check it out. But if you guys are wondering what's on the eyes, because I did not film the eyes, I did use the Love palette from Natasha Denona. I love it. Around this time of the year, I love to use that palette. So I wanted to go ahead and just also share with you guys that I am wearing the KKW Nude number 5 for my lips. It's my favorite, one of my favorites. I shouldn't say my favorite. Well, but it's one of my favorite lipsticks ever. I wanted to also mention that I did go ahead and set everything. This is also new that I picked up as part of some of the products that I found at e.l.f. It was the Stay All Night Microfine Setting Mist. They did have two to choose from, so I went ahead and I used this one. For this particular CC cream, I will not be doing like a 12-hour or as long as I can make it go kind of a day. I do not expect that from this CC cream. 6 to 8 hours is what I'm actually hoping to get out of it, because when it comes to a CC cream, I typically reach for one of those when I am either working outside in the yard, or if I'm outside, you know, doing mom stuff, going to baseball games, running errands, going to Costco, because that's what I love to do, and Target. I'm not looking for a CC cream to last all day and all night. Those are the kind of instances where I feel like they are typically good for. So for specifically a CC cream, I do not expect it to last the 12 hours. So right now it is 8:39. So we're gonna call this 8:30-ish, and my plan is to hope that it goes through the day. So a typical 8-hour wear, I'd say around 3 or 4. If I can make it to about 3 or 4, I will be very excited. So it's 8 o'clock now. My plan is to do a noon check-in with you guys, and then we'll do a 3 o'clock check-in. We're gonna go ahead and move on and get started with our wear test. It is a little bit past 12. It's actually 1:30. We were outside and I was shoveling snow. So let's take a look at this. And so far what I can see, well, the first thing I noticed is that my lipstick has stained underneath my chin. Although, if I zoom you guys in a little bit closer, can you see everything is still intact? I mean, everything else looks good. I mean, everything's sitting really nicely. I feel like the foundation and everything and the powders have kind of seeped in and kind of, you know, started to really just kind of mesh a little bit better. My forehead is not as oily as I suspected it to be. I was wearing a beanie, and I'm actually quite impressed because I was sweating quite a bit while I was outside. So for it to be holding up as well as it did for, you know, shoveling snow and wearing a mask for a little bit, it's actually held up really nicely. So I think the powders and everything on top of it, like setting it, really helped. It's still going good. So we're gonna go ahead and do another check-in. I'd say about like 4:30-ish. We'll do our final check-in. I feel like I've done a pretty good job at wearing it. Oh, you could see a little bit, like you could see where one little pimple's starting to pop through. But I'm very impressed so far. I think this is looking really, really good. So I feel a little bad because I do feel like I've been off a couple hours every time I said I was going to come in the morning with my check-ins. I think right around dinner time, like the last from about 4:30 till about now, I feel like I kind of pushed it to its end. A little bit of the redness is popping through. The dark spot has kind of peeled and peeked through. Although, considering that those were really two the only, you know, issues that I had, maybe around my nose because I was itching it, it held up really well, nicely. Although, I don't know if you can see this, but right here in the center, I happened to go like this because I felt like I had like a little pimple coming. So I touched it, and right when I touched it, I now noticed that I am starting to peel off like the product. It is now finally starting to settle into my fine lines. I will say, for the amount of time that I've had it on, I'm very impressed by how well it's actually held up my oils and everything before I've even had the chance to powder. So I actually think it's a really good thing. It's definitely given my skin an airbrushed finish. It's definitely given it that more soft appearance to it, and it doesn't look oily. Today I actually wore it for about 10 hours or so, a little bit around 10 hours. Very impressed by the way that it looks. I would definitely say that if you see this product, I would pick it up. I definitely want to try it again. Very proud of e.l.f. I'm super excited, and good job, e.l.f. I say this is a go. Go ahead and pick it up. If you see it in store, you got my approval. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you guys want to see another review on another foundation, let me know down below. I have seen quite a few new ones come up, and you guys let me know what you want to see next, and I will see you guys later. Bye.